What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey,
Hey, welcome to episode 10 of He Said, She Said, and the Real Podcast. What's up to our dope audience? I see you guys are getting logged in and getting ready for tonight because it's going to
yeah,
be on and pop in tonight. Um, First up, this podcast, for anybody that is new, this podcast is about relationships. This is about situationships, friendships, any kind of ship, how to not go down with the ship. How about that? And you get non-expert advice. Okay, we tell you what not to do here from the relationship misfit. I am the relationship misfit, also known as love bug, because I love all things love. And my co-host, the other she in the she said, what's up, camo chick? How are you?
hey, I am fine. It is Tuesday, the week before vacation, because I'm gonna take the whole 2 weeks off. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
whoop, whoop. I'm not mad at you. Do what you do. We will do what you do. All right. So true to their nature, our he's are fashionably late, but it's okay because the ladies love it when we can take over the show anyway. Am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely.
So first up, I want to shout out to our audience that's already chiming in. So what's up, Robin? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Tia in the house. Welcome. What's up, Ed? I see you. All right. So we are going to go ahead and just jump right in. We don't have time to wait for the fellas. So, welcome to another episode of She Shed.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my God. So, it's so much stuff that I want to talk about in She Shed, especially because the fellas really have to guard the door. They're not even here.
Correct.
All right. So, shoulder ourselves before they get here. Let's talk about the tomfoolery in relation to Dr. Biden and the Wall Street Journal of all publications
Of all publications.
putting a story, commentary, opinion, whatever the garbage they want to label it as, that she dropped her doctor on her name. Now, I just want to get some background for any of you who may not know. She is still a working woman. Love it.
Mhm.
She has a PhD in education, and it is a earned doctorate. Means she wrote and said and wrote all that stuff and earned it. It's not
And pay for
honorary
it.
and paid for it.
Hmm, hmm,
And
hmm.
she is being told that she should drop doctor and just be Biden's wife. Come on, Camo Chick. How you feel about that?
Hell to the no. First of all, let me tell you something. I don't even have my PhD, but I promise you, my little MS, you gonna recognize my degrees and my pedigree. So for her, it's like she was a woman before she became the or is about to become the first lady. So why should she have to drop part of her identity? That's part of her identity. She has earned her degree. She has spent all those years in school writing her dissertation, and now all of a sudden you trying to tell me I can't use my PhD because I'm a first lady. It shouldn't be an and or, and or I mean or, but
I'm even trying to understand. Like I read the article twice because I thought maybe I was sleepy or hadn't had enough coffee because I was trying to understand his reasoning behind it, right? And
you know
he
what
was
the reasoning is.
well, I know what, but I was trying to figure out what he was gonna put on paper. We know he's not gonna come out and say
Mm-mm,
like literally
mm-mm.
saying, well, she's not a medical doctor. I want to be like, no dig to any doctors, especially in the pandemic. Okay, let me just put that.
Correct.
However, the level that she went through to get a PhD in education is definitely right upon the level of their residency and all of the things that they have to do. And since when does having doctor in front of your name only mean MD?
It does not.
Anyway, I thought it was stupid. I really questioned whoever decided from the Wall Street Journal to run it, but I guess it was a slow news day. Or they tired of talking about Corona, whatever.
No, they needed to probably drive their readership up, and that was the quickest way to do it because all of us ran and looked at like, let's look at all this tomfoolery. Because if that was a man,
I like Nate. I really like Nate.
oh, and it's Nate's birthday.
It sure is. He is like one of our December babies.
Yes.
Happy birthday. But Nate's sex appeal just went up like 10 notches with your comment, Nate. I just want to tell you that. Just your sex appeal. If you single, ladies, okay. Just I'm just saying that it was absolutely the dumbest thing.
It was.
But I wonder, similar to what we saw with Michelle Obama. Michelle, like many people who may not know, Michelle was actually Barack's boss first.
Yep.
So like, do you have to dumb yourself down, hide your degrees, not wear your letters on your chest in order to be considered wifey material or on the side? Like, I'm trying to understand that.
That's the expectation for women, is that we cannot dull the shine of our men. So I guess the sentiment of, oh, now your husband's will be the president, or will be the president installed in January, that you can now just, put aside all of your degrees and put aside who you are because you're supporting him. She can still support him, even being called Dr. Biden. I think that's pretty hot. I mean, you do it for everybody else. Honestly, anywhere we go, we use our pedigrees. When you go to church and you address the minister, do you call him by his first name? Absolutely not. And no matter where he goes, he is still minister, pastor, reverend, whomever. And the
Whatever,
same thing
right?
should be for this woman professionally, is that she should not have to drop who she is or what she has earned simply because her husband is now the president. That's stupid.
I just want to side note, Nate is single, ladies. So like, get at him. I'm just saying,
Look
Nate.
up. The man ain't here. We can do hookups too. Wait, but
We
the
do
man ain't here. We got
right.
time, ladies. Inbox us.
Nate is single, and like
Oh,
his sex.
oh, you know
What?
what? You still
What?
got your challenge, Nate. We got to get you in on her challenge, her dating challenge.
Oh, let's also talk about that. The fellas ain't here, but yeah, let's take some time because supposedly I signed up for some tomfoolery, and I don't know what was in my cup that night. And y'all keep me honest. Yes, Tia, we are doing PSAs right now. Hey, listen, y'all always, we collectively women always talk about good men is hard to find. Nate come on here week after week and talk real good sense. And so if he's single, holla. Hey Lisa. Hey, two sides, three meats, Nate. I got you. But listen, we are
Ooh, and I think he's close to you. If I recall where he lives, he may not be in the same state, but I think right next door. I
oh, well,
think.
Nate, hit my inbox. Hey, because I listen. Hey, love connection. This is what
I'm just
happened.
saying.
This is what
Look
happened.
up.
So somehow when Kevin was our guest on the show, KDL, I
Mhm.
somehow got bullied into trying out rotational dating and actually just dating for fun. Is that not what I was
Yes,
told?
yes,
And I was
yes.
told not to start it until after Christmas because I guess it's pressure on gifts and stuff like that. So December 26th, men, I am dating. I have this for 30 days. I will not say no to anybody unless you look like you are going to be on an episode of Law and Order SVU.
As the person committing the crime.
Right.
As that person. Not as
I
somebody
don't
that
want to
works
be the
for.
victim. I don't want to be the victim. And therefore, if you look like you drive one of them white vans with no windows, I'm going to say no. But anybody else, 30 days and yes is what you get for me for dates.
Yep.
Anyway, what else do we want to talk about in the she shed? Because I
Oh,
really want to take advantage of they knocking at the door, but I just really
yeah.
want to take
Don't let them
advantage.
in. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. We
Right,
still
right.
That's what happened when you're late, because now we're gonna take over the man. We're gonna take over the man cave
Right.
too.
We run in the
But
she shed and the man cave.
what about Keisha? You heard Keisha turn down her appointment to the cabinet, right? Like,
Keisha, Keisha, I
yeah.
have tomorrow is Woman Crush Wednesday. I'm telling you, I got the biggest crush on Keisha right now because
Hmm.
Keisha was
Hmm.
like, thank
No.
you for the opportunity, but that does not fit the goals and plans that I have for myself. And
Hmm.
I think it is amazing that
Yeah.
she is controlling the narrative around what she wants to
Her
do
life.
and
Yep.
where she wants to go. And ladies, like I feel like Keisha is modeling it for us. She a parent. We done seen her have to get in her son's butt. We've seen her be
Hmm.
a parent. We've seen her, and I love it. I know she's like, hey, Joe, Atlanta is where I need to be. I love it.
Yeah, and that speaks to her character, because she, like you said, like she was willing to say that this doesn't fit for me right now. And really her priority, has, as she has said over and over, are the people of Atlanta. So I really appreciate that about her. Like, I was sitting there like, dang, because had he hit me up like, yo, Tiff, he didn't even have to say yo. I would have saw Biden call, I'm out. But I appreciate the fact that she was willing to make that hard decision. Hey Andrea, yes, it is me. Um, make that hard decision on what to do. Like, that's a life changing
I'm gonna
decision.
tell you what else. It says that she has an established plan in her mind.
Hmm.
Very similar to Stacy.
Yep.
Stacy set out, Stacy was like, okay, I didn't get this seat. Bam. That's okay. Georgia is going to be a critical battleground, and I am going to use my influence and build my influence for the next election. And I feel like Keisha is doing the same thing. Keisha is like, hey, look, I got a plan and love your offer, amazing offer, but it doesn't fit in my plan. My question is, ladies, how many of us actually know our plan for ourselves so well that we would be able to pass up such an influential offer? Because that blew my mind. I know I'm the type of person that I would have been like, yep. And you would have ended up letting somebody else steer your destiny because
Hmm.
it was a good opportunity, but it wasn't necessarily a good opportunity for you.
Right. And it wasn't her vision. Like, it's now she will be forced to have to execute somebody else's vision. So this way she still maintains control of what she wants to do. So I truly appreciate that. And I admire her for even being willing to sit there and say no. Like, who gets to say that?
It's just been a black girl magic week.
It
How about
is.
we
It
just
is.
say that? It's been a
It is.
black girl magic sprinkles is just on everything. So how about we also talk about the vaccination really quick in the she said. I thought it was
Hmm.
very interesting that New York decided that the first person that they would televise as getting the vaccination was a black RN. And I'm like, so you trying to jump on the black girl magic to get other people to take the vaccinations? Because if
Yeah.
I put a black
Yeah.
woman up there, everybody see me
Yeah.
doing what a black
Yeah.
woman is doing. So I'm calling New York out. I'm throwing a penalty flag on New York. I feel like that was a political maneuver, putting a black woman up there first, calling them out.
Oh, I think not even just political. I think it was a medical decision too. That I having worked in the medical field, knowing how Black people feel about vaccinations. I mean, I'm a person that has never had a flu shot, so I'm over here. My
Not
mother's
never.
like, never. And I can tell you, I used to work for a medical association, and every year they'd be like, "Hey, it's time to go get flu shots." I'm like, "Oh, Black folks don't do that, dog. We don't do that." But I've never had one, and I've had this conversation with my doctor about how it feels to be a Black person in this day and age, especially now that they're talking about vaccinations, and our resistance to that is that y'all know the last time y'all tried to vaccinate us, what happened. Um, but
Last time you said it was a vaccination, and
right,
you was
but it was
you
something
was
else.
giving me something.
Right.
Right.
And so I have a few friends that work in the medical field now, and then of course having worked at a medical association and having the conversation that a lot of the drugs are just not tested on us because we are resistant to that research. And they can't tell us if they really work for us because nobody jumps to do it. Now, I have had a couple of my doctor friends that have actually signed themselves up for a couple of the studies. So if she doesn't show up with 4 eyes and 2 noses, I'm with you. But yeah, so I feel like it was to do a peace offering in this day and age because it is critical. And I will say we are dying quicker of this of COVID-19. So something has to be done to where either we need to take it serious, meaning y'all need to start wearing y'all mask appropriately, like not down here or not down here. It's supposed to be over here. Um but the
Look,
way
the
just
ladies is weighing in. You are not the only person that has not gotten
yeah,
a flu
I
shot.
never had
I
one.
got one, and I think I got sicker that year than I ever did before. So I am
Yeah.
totally agreement. But I got distracted again. I just want to tell you, I got distracted again with Nate's comment, and it's gonna be like a Prince concert up in here. To start throwing stuff at Nate.
I
Oh,
still think at the time. And actually, if I recall, wait a minute, does Nate know how to sing too? We went to high school together, so I'm trying to remember. I know he was on sports, but I think
okay, stop,
I'm just
stop.
saying, I'm just trying to help you
You
out.
trying to hook. By the end, Nate, by the end of the show, we're gonna go together, leave it up to Camo Chick. I'm just saying. You
Yes,
you
yes.
single, I'm single. Bam.
Work it,
Love
baby.
connection. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we have one of our he's in the building, and I guess we will let him
I
into the
guess.
she shed. You think so, Camo? All
Yeah, I guess.
right. All right.
Let's see what
What's
he's talking
up,
about.
Lefty?
What the hell going on in here? What the hell going on in here? I
What you
leave
mean?
y'all for 15 minutes and you can got a boyfriend on the show. Y'all talking about throwing panties at the damn thing. What's going on, man? I left y'all for what, 18 minutes?
I'm
I
just
was running,
saying.
I was running a little behind tonight. That's all.
We
I'm
were
just
trying.
saying.
We were
You
trying.
see what
Goodness
happens when you leave the
gracious.
she's
Then,
unattended.
right,
You just
leave them
go
under.
buck wild.
I look up and Nate done got a girlfriend and everything, my
Yeah,
man.
It's his
me and Nate
birthday.
go.
It's his birthday.
And I'm
Yeah.
his
Oh.
present. I'm his gift. Ah!
And it gets deeper. And it gets deeper.
Hey, how are you this week?
And it good. I'm good, man. I'm close to 100%. Probably I'm getting there. I had a great week in football. Fantasy league. Fantasy league. I won my pool. My Bears won. I'm repping the hat today. It
I'm
was a
happy that the
great
Bears
weekend.
won, but it pained me because me and Lefty are in the same pool. And let me just tell you, Lefty done won 3 times. And if I had to cash app you
Uh,
one more time,
this week made 4. I took the lead this week. This is the 4th week. The 4th week I won. Just so,
look,
put it out there to the he
Oh,
said she said
Jesus.
world.
yes.
They call
So
me Lefty Damas. Hit me up if you want to win some money. I'll give you some
Lefty
tips.
Thomas, I don't like
Lefty
nothing
Damas.
about you right
Lefty
now.
Damas.
anyway, before we close out the she shed, I wanted to hear your opinions on because Nate already got him a girlfriend out of his opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted to do is hear your opinions. First thing we started off on was we gave the You Big Dummy Award to the Wall Street Journal for telling Dr. Biden to drop her doctor because she's not an MD and that her earned doctorate it wasn't gifted to her because of who she know or anything. She like went to school, did papers, and paid for that degree. That she should not, wear that. So the Wall Street Journal gets the You Big Dummy. They get the Sanford Award.
Yes, they can definitely get the Fred Sanford Award. It's already you already seeing the nitpicking, the nonsense that's starting off already. And
Mm-hmm.
leave that man wife alone every time. And when are they gonna go out of business? Ain't it about time. And then I thought the internet took over. Ain't it time for them to be done? Like,
I didn't even know the Wall Street Journal was still like doing anything
yeah,
significant into
like
this.
That's why they
who
did
even
it.
Yeah,
talks
you're
to
right.
them?
This was a great way to get their name back out there, but definitely not as a credible media source anymore. Because I used to think like, oh, the Wall Street Journal said it, but now I'm like, yeah.
Right. Come on now. We get all our news off Facebook. Tell the truth.
Right.
And all I knew was on Facebook and Instagram.
Bobo is more accurate than that. I'm trying to tell you.
You be like, man, want a stock went up? You learn on Facebook. You don't go to no other website. You go right on social media and learn that. That's how
right. Then you ask your friends to send you their referral for their little stock group so you can get in and buy one share. You just gonna buy one share. That's all you get the money for.
Jump in one of those stock groups and get it cracking. Be a millionaire for you know it. So the hell with the Wall Street Journal. They can kick rocks. Ain't nobody thinking about them. That's pathetic. I mean, how many people got honorary doctrines, whether hers was or wasn't? I didn't do the background on. Right. And if hers isn't honorary, then what are we doing here? Like seriously, y'all gonna mess with you're gonna mess with the new first lady after we just got Ivanka up out of there. That's what we doing. Like really,
right?
So we're just gonna jump straight on Mrs. Biden and Mrs. Dr. Biden. We let Ivanka chill in the White House for 4 years, and only released one bikini pic. They only released one bikini pic. Ain't nobody said nothing. Ain't nobody went and dug up her background. You know it's shady. You know it's janky. Ain't nobody touched the woman. So that's ridiculous, man. So that they get the finger. They get the finger. Let them have it.
Penalty flag on the Wall Street Journal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next thing we talked about was Keisha Bottoms and the fact that she turned down President-elect and was like, "Hey, thank you, but no thank you on your cabinet position."
Yeah. Very interesting. So I'll give you my thoughts on it. I'm just like presuming, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's thinking, but could she be thinking she don't want to be this, pawn, she don't want to be this, Negro, just filling out his cabinet so it just looks good. Like is she feeling like it's not genuine? That's strong, like Nate said, that's strong to turn down, to turn down what she turned down. So I really would like for her to come out and really kind of go in depth of why she turned it down. Because it just seems, especially with Kamala, Kamala, the vice president. Am I saying her name?
Get it right.
Kamala. I'm Black, Chicago, and country, so I'm all messed up. I can't pronounce nothing right.
Just say comma and la.
Kamala. Somebody should have spelled that name different, but yeah, I'm here. With her being the vice president, you would think it was a slam dunk, and like she gotta have some deep rooted reasons. Now maybe she might hold it to herself, and because she don't want to.
She's already come out and said to respect the other people who will be considered for that position. She's not even going to say what position was offered, and so I respect her for how she's handling it. But I agree with you. It would definitely be interesting to be a fly on the wall on that discussion. And then did this just raise her stock?
Yeah.
Did this just raise her stock? Because can we talk about how much you got to see yourself? I deem myself worthy enough to tell the president-elect that I don't want to be a part of his cabinet.
Right. And remember, she was also, I think, considered to be one of his running mates. She was in the running for that. So it's not like he just arbitrarily selected her. I don't think. I think it really was. I mean, she's an awesome woman. So I think it boiled down to what her priorities are. And she ain't going to be the only colored first person in the cabinet. So it's a ton of them.
But it has to be the position that was offered, though. You know what I mean? You know how we do up here in Chicago. We'll offer somebody that was the maintenance man, the head of the Department of Education of the state. How we get down up here. Want to be somebody cousin or uncle. You know what I'm saying? You look up like how was Meeks over education? Can somebody please break that down to me?
Don't talk about my pastor.
I'm just saying. I ain't saying no wrong with his preaching.
Whole church before I got kicked out of this church.
I ain't saying nothing wrong with the man preaching, but the head of education, that's a stretch.
Okay, now I want to touch on Nate's comment because that's my boo for the night. So since it's his birthday and he's my boo, he gonna get special treatment all night. I just want y'all to know. But he said that the comments on Dr. Biden is because her position, her coming into the White House as a working, because let's remember, she's already told her husband, I ain't quit my job just because you got a new job. She plans to continue to be a professor at her college, and that this is a threat to sexist women when you transition from the trophy wife of Milana to a equally formidable, like he got a mate with him. He got somebody that's gonna help him.
Yeah. I mean, they met at college. Trump met his wife at the Playboy Ranch. You know how I roll. You know how I roll. You know how I get out.
So before we get further in trouble, or let's just get more in trouble. Y'all can see with the sunglasses. I'm for the tomfoolery.
This damn internet. What, they gonna cut us off?
I'm for the tomfoolery tonight. I'm for it. Hey, so let's talk about. Let's move. Let's close out She Shed. Thank you. We allowed you in, so thank you for your comments. But we're gonna go ahead.
I still want to do a man cave.
You gonna do a man cave? We got you. Your Johnny come lately is coming lately.
Right.
But before we do that, let's go ahead and let's talk about Touch On It.
Love bug, you had some time on your hand again, didn't you?
That was strong.
I'm enjoying your favorite pastime now.
That's strong.
Listen, y'all. Just last week, y'all was trying to get Snoop a new job. Y'all was loving on Snoop because that commentary for that fight took all us out. When he starts thinking Precious Lord, when Nate got hit and he started talking about grandma, the two uncles is out there fighting and can't nobody but grandma break them up. Y'all thought Snoop was the funniest thing since I don't know what, since Raw came out.
He actually just got a new job though. He with AEW Wrestling now. He's a commentator. They hired him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I knew he was gonna get hired.
Yeah.
Side note, from a musical perspective, also, can we talk about the power group of the legends coming together? Snoop, Too Short, Ice Cube, and somebody else.
Probably Dre.
Oh my God, I can't wait. But anyway, that's supposed to. They announced that a couple of hours ago. But
first song gonna be called the Geritol Hour. They all 55 and up. Man. I mean, maybe a better year.
Still crip walk. Come on, he can still crip walk. Hey. Anyway,
crip walk and tear your ACL. Go ahead.
Snoop talked about the WAP. So I want to talk about Snoop's comments about the song, the WAP. Now, we started episode 1. We talked about Cardi B and Offset, but we purposely did not get into the WAP. We're digging all in it. Oh, that might not be a good way to introduce digging into the WAP.
Definitely not.
Hey, but it's probably been in one of Snoop's lyrics, so it's appropriate for tonight.
All right, so
your shit just went up 100%.
I'm just gonna say. So Snoop made some comments about the WAP song. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm Team Snoop on this one. I love the comments. I thought he was on point. But my two counterparts on here said nah. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all have it. Y'all say Snoop gets the Big Dummy Award. So let's go ahead. Let's touch on it. How y'all feel about Snoop comments about?
I'm gonna let Lefty go.
Oh, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead. Do you think?
Okay. Well, first of all, I can't listen to nobody that spent his whole career was built on dehumanizing women. Period. If you check out every song that this man, every rap that he's ever had, there is something in there sexually explicit about women. Yeah. So
except his gospel album.
Oh,
damn.
Except the gospel album.
But Snoop
And
did put out a gospel album. I'm just
I know
saying.
he did put out a gospel album. I recall, I remember the gospel album. And my thing is, now you want to change your story because now you have a daughter that's 21 years old who men are out here talking about she got that good WAP, and now you're not trying to have it. So now you're saying you want women to get a little bit more mysterious about who they are. Why? When you consistently tell women what you want to do with them, and who you doing it with then? I mean, why can't women say how they feel? That's what's wrong with the world right now, which is a whole nother topic because some of y'all sexually repressed. So if we allow women to express them, yeah. So because women have been trained that they are
That's my
not supposed to
girl.
enjoy sex, and I think that's hell of a wrong. So I actually applaud Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion for actually putting that out because trust me, lots of women think it, but they never sing it. So the fact that they actually have done it, and they're not the first, they aren't the first, because there have been a ton of women singers that have actually put out records that have been very explicit. But I think as society, we always it's a double standard for women. Women can't talk about how they enjoy sex, what they want the man to do to them, what they want to do to the man. But a man can tell you to hop your ass on a pole. I got a pole in my basement. I'm just kidding, unless you're serious.
Unless
But
you
they can
gonna
say
do
that,
it
right?
extra, extra. Oh, my bad. My bad.
But yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, I at first I strongly disagreed, and then after kind of breaking it down, like you said, I think the biggest problem though, Tiff, is the source. The source that it comes from when this man made a killing off an album called Doggy Style, which pretty much talked about having sex and I don't love these hoes and the whole nine, and even some of the commercial breaks where it was, man having sex with women, and he did sexualize. He was one of the ones that, he put it out there, so and you could be right. Now that his daughter a little older, he don't want to see his daughter dropping it for $40 on the gram. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't want
Or
to see your
giving
own
some to the
child.
homies.
But you didn't really care back then when you was having other people,
It ain't no fun.
right.
Hey, if the homies can't
I mean,
have nothing.
think how disrespectful that song alone is.
Thank you.
That's pretty much like we gonna run a train on you. And I mean, this the type of stuff Snoop did. And I know the gospel thing, but let's just scratch that from his discography, please. Like we can't go from Doggy Style to gospel. That don't make sense to me.
I gotta agree with you. I gotta agree with you on that part. Like for real, because in the same time frame, he also dropped something that was like, wait,
right.
Like,
so what if you wanted to do like a Snoop mix and you go from Ain't No Fun to Jesus, Sweet Jesus Lord? Like you can't.
The Lord knows his heart. The Lord knows his heart.
But not to get. I'm sorry, I got off topic a little bit. So, but I think there's a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
I think women can be open, especially more now than they were back in the day. It was really looked at. Grandma called you a hussy in a minute if your skirt was too short, let alone your mouth. It's just something. It's that kind of traditional thing, and now the new traditions that are being introduced by the millennials, to where it's all good. Just like if you look at Dion Cole, and one of the funniest parts of his stand up was, he went from the After Seven type songs to the straight like come get this.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is changing. But I think as women, we've spoken about it before. Even as a young lady, reputations carry. So everything you doing on the gram and all this wild stuff that's going on, now that could carry, and then you get to the point in your life where you don't want to be sexualized on a regular basis. But what you put out there is what you're gonna get.
So I love Vanessa's comment.
Yes.
She said, "Why is the world always trying to control women while celebrating men running wild?"
There is nothing wrong with a woman being sexual. And why should a woman, because a man feels like, oh, she may be a hussy or she may be a hoe, that doesn't equate to the fact that I want to express my sexuality.
Well, but I think this. But Tiff, it is a fine line though. I think for any man, it's a fine line between just like between sexy and slutty. Somebody dressing sexy and somebody dressing slutty. It's really not a fine line. It's a nice line, but it seems to be confused a lot these days. Sexy and slutty, like it does. You know, but and I think it's the same, and I think it's the same with your words and what you put out there and what you say. Yeah, you could be open about your sexuality and what you want to do, but at the same time, you can't complain about what comes with it.
So that what I'm struggling with, and this is why I said I agree with Snoop. I agree with Snoop, and here's why I agree with him. How many of our fathers, uncles, granddaddies was a Rolling Stone? Wherever they laid their hat was their home. And because they know what type of man they were, that they didn't then try and steer their girls differently. And he can't undo who he was, right?
Right.
But as a father, 20 years in the game now, like get him, Marie. The game is having their own. Yeah,
she did.
Yeah.
She did get him.
Yeah. You know, why is it that he can't mature and say what I did back then is it listen, I see what it does to young women, because I just want to share for everybody what he said, that he's not saying don't be sexual. What he was saying is his concern was, and he admits, young Snoop would have been on the remix of the WAP. He says that in his comments. He said, young Snoop, but I'm older now. And his concern is, I don't want young girls to follow behind Cardi and Megan before they know what the jewel is. And I think there is some truth that Cardi and Megan are at a different stage than, say, your 16 through 20-year-olds that don't know. Once you give it away, you can only give it away once. That one time.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only give it away once, and to know the worth behind it, the power behind it. So it's not just about, I love Megan's lyrics, and I love that she's out there, and Megan is just who she is. But what I think Snoop is trying to say is there are a lot of young girls that are following behind them, that are trying to give away WAP, that ain't ready for the emotional ties to it. And we have all these songs about sex and riding it, and I'm this, and I ain't gonna lie on my nut, and this and that. But we're not talking to young girls about the emotions. And then Lefty and them be talking about females who be busting out their windows and stuff. Because now I didn't know, or we talking about, and I'm not making light of it, but we talking about the emotions that come behind you using your power in a way that doesn't honor the other person. Now they out there acting stupid, shooting you in the foot, acting stupid. Like, there is emotions to sex. Sex is for grown-ups, grown stuff. Don't just be out there with wet stuff, giving it to people, trying to get you.
Right, but Nick, the problem is hip hop has been socially irresponsible for a long time now.
Absolutely.
Even and especially after the 80s, when it got into that era of Snoop Dogg, and when you start hitting that, Biggie talked about beating women. Snoop was one of the first mainstream rappers that gangbanged on wax. Like NWA never gangbanged. They never represented crippled blood. Snoop gangbanged on wax. So the influence they had on people that weren't ready for it. Hell, Dre and Snoop had everybody smoking weed. Cats at 10, 11 years old smoking weed because of the chronic. So hip hop has been socially irresponsible. Right. Drinking gin and juice, and hip hop's been socially irresponsible for a very long time. So it's no different now.
But why do we discredit? We try to control the women, though.
Why do we discredit someone standing on the platform and trying to correct that then? Because if somebody other than Snoop said what they said, will we feel the same way about the
I
comments?
would appreciate, you know what I would appreciate of him if he would have come out and corrected the male rappers. That's who he needs to correct, because that's who's following behind him. He's the
Right.
one that told men to go out here and do doggy style. You had young boys out here doing doggy style and running trains with garbage bags. Trust me, I know, because I had some kids tell me they ran a train on the girl with a plastic jewels bag. But again, yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
So
wait, story
yes, yes,
time.
yes,
No, no,
yes,
no, 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 no. We're
yes.
not just gonna skate past the jewel
We
bag.
just gonna stay
Like,
past that.
I'm
So
that's
sorry.
some
again,
Because I'm slow.
that's
The
some
I'm
Law and
about to
Order
tell you.
SVU stuff right there.
I'm
That's
about to
some
tell
Stabler
you.
Benson.
you
And
mean
I
that was
used to
like for
work.
the condom?
What you say?
They was trying to use the bag for the condom?
They use the same jewel bag to run a train on a girl. Yes, I used to work. So most of y'all that I've talked to, I actually worked in youth programming and still do youth programming. So one of my programs taught sexual health, and this was a real life conversation with some eighth grade boys. Why? And this was at the time of Snoop Dogg's song. So again, we want to challenge the girls and say don't talk about having sex, but then the boys listen to this and they believe that this shit is okay. So it's not okay. And the only point that I'm trying to say that we have to make it equal. Yes, I do believe that there should be some mysteriousness about a woman's how she chooses to express herself, but at the same time, don't try to control a woman's sexuality, because that's the problem. Because that's why you got girls around here sitting here and allowing boys to run trains on them, because according to the music, that's what they're supposed to do. So if we're training boys to do this, why don't we train our boys not to do it? Why don't we train our boys to respect women? Why do the women always have to be the ones to hold the man accountable for how they view us? Why can't the men just train the boys to say, this is how you should view the woman? This is how you should respect the woman. This is, if you want to go with a girl, or you want to court a girl, or you want to have sex with a girl, this is what you're supposed to do to protect yourself and her. But and yet we turn it on the girl and make her responsible for how the men view us, what you decide to say about your sexuality, what you choose to do in the bedroom and outside the bedroom, and they have to control everything, and that's not fair.
well, just like you said, I think it's more of the source, and I think it would have been. I think one of the things Snoop probably should have did was take some accountability when he first started talking about the roles he played in this stuff. And like you said, don't come out and criticize. He wasn't hard on Cardi B and Megan, but don't come out and criticize them until you take some accountability, player. Because like we said, you are a big part of it, especially
Mhm.
sexualizing young girls. And now, and you know, I get it, but you also make a great point, Nick, about the emotions that come with it. That, you know, it seems like it's a joke on the song and people want to try, but there are a lot of emotions that come with it. It's a lot of long-term effects that come with it. You know, what effect is them trying to run a train on that young lady with a jewels bag? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's such a I don't know. You kind of torn between. I get what Snoop's saying, but I think it would have been a lot better if he would have just, you know, took some responsibility.
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I feel that we continually get into this cycle of men versus women. I think what Snoop said in the moment was a correct statement. He said he liked that Meg and Cardi was doing their thing, that they was working out, that he never said anything about them. His concern was young girls who were
Mhm.
following it. So I think,
Right.
take all his history aside, his statement is valid. His
His statement
statement
It
is
is.
is
valid because it
It is.
affects him
statement is
now.
valid.
It affects him now. It affects him in a different way because his daughter is 21 now.
And I say it's affected him long before. So I agree. So
Mhm.
I think one thing that we have gotten, and I think to kind of segue, this has been part of the election. We become so paralyzed with it's right or it's wrong. There is no gray. What I believe
Mm,
is what Snoop said was right. Was there other things Snoop needed to say behind that? Yep.
definitely.
But what he said, women who have been, to me it was his way of making up for all the women he had that he had basically just dogged, to come behind it and say, for Snoop, someone who normally, like you said, doggy style, for him to say that your body is a jewel, that you should be like, there was some value to that, but we completely went to the narrative of he doesn't have the right to say it. And we discredited everything that he said. And my thing is, somebody has to say it. And every time anybody says anything about WAP, they get shot down in terms of saying we're not allowing women to be free. But we're also not holding Cardi and Megan responsible for having additional conversations about, with this WAP comes responsibilities. Okay. And so I think Lefty hit it. Hip hop has continually been irresponsible. I can't tell you how many athletes, how many rappers have all said, well, I'm not in here to be a role model. You're a role model whether you choose to or not. If you have influence in your platform, you now have to watch your words because they weaponize people. It doesn't matter. You have to take responsibility. Y'all say something about Beyonce and see if the beehive don't come for you. You know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand the ramifications of your words because they're friends.
Okay.
So I think we have to.
I'm sorry. I gotta disagree with y'all when y'all say that these athletes and these musicians and all don't have to stand up and be role models. They don't. They are in this for the money. Now, if they choose to use their platform for, the good of everyone, then so be it. But that is not in their contract. I need you to be, a role model for Johnny, Joe, and Joe Brown. No, they are in it for the money. So they don't have to be a role model. Now, the people that needs to be a role model are these parents, these uncles, these family friends and stuff. People that are actually in your real person's real life. Those are role models. These people that's on TV are exactly what they are. On TV, props, make believe.
Yeah, the problem is, unfortunately, though, media, TV, radio has almost pushed the working man out of as far as look up, especially when you're in an era where everything's about balling out of control and you watching mom and dad get up and go to work every day.
But guess what? That's been like that ever since we were kids. Before that, and
not as bad as it is. Not as bad as it is now. Nowhere near as bad as it is.
It's been levels to the game. Because back in the day, when we were coming up, you had Bill Cosby, you had a lawyer and a doctor in the same household. How many of us saw that?
He probably ain't the best example to use. Right
well, even if you use Dr. Husband, Bill Cosby drove a station wagon. Bill Cosby wasn't running around.
It was a Volkswagen or a Volvo.
Right,
he wasn't a Chevy. It wasn't a station wagon.
He wasn't running around bragging about his Rolexes and all the money he had. Even as a doctor, with him being a doctor and his wife is a lawyer. I'm just saying the influence is way different. The influence is way different.
The influence has always been there. I mean, and Marie hit it on the head with her comment about
social media is so big right now. That's why it's huger than it ever has been.
Reality TV, same stuff, all of it.
Right.
But I still think this. Is it in their contracts? No. I will tell you. I agree. It's not in. Now, who said every I agree. Every generation. I literally had this argument with my 16-year-old because she was playing something and I heard all kind of explicit words and I said, "Oh, you're gonna have to turn it off." And she said, "Oh, but Mom, you was just listening to Pony the other day." I sure was. But guess what? I won't listen to Pony in the car with.
Why? Well, go ahead.
My mama.
Why would you listen to Genuine?
Because I live in El Paso and we got one black station.
Hold on.
Right?
Okay, all right.
Hold on.
Proceed. I just want to know.
Mama Lovebug listen to Pony too. Stop.
My mama is the
Betty Wright.
Isley Brothers.
Right.
Betty Wright.
They had Betty Wright. They had Mr. Fix-It Man. They had all of that.
So Marie hit it on the head. Every generation had sexualized music, but every generation has gotten more and more explicit. There's a difference between
raunchy with it.
Yeah, it's a thing between turn off the lights light a candle and you come into the illusion of what he's talking about, and you talking about you know, I'm gonna screw you in the car on the way to see my other boo, and like, come on, like it's
I mean, we went from Mr. Fix It to Mr. Put It on your forehead.
Come on,
I'm just gonna put it on your
serious,
forehead. It's just what it
y'all
is.
forget some of the songs that we listened to, some of the stuff that our parents listened to. That stuff was explicit.
It was
just
very
had
explicit.
it was very explicit. So man,
Very.
don't act like WAP is this new type of stuff
It's
that's
not.
out there.
y'all gonna stop pretending like WGCI was playing that explicit music. They was not. They wasn't even trying to beep it out. Like, you know, you had to have the tape if you wanted to hear that. I never heard half of what Snoop played on. You was only gonna get the radio version.
You had to buy it too. You had to buy it.
Exactly. And guess what?
Correct.
So your friend bought the tape, and guess what? You dubbed it. So everybody had it. Everybody had it.
Yeah, but it was still levels to it, man. Like, even when my parents played that kind of music, White Horse and all that, kids had to go upstairs.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think kids are being exposed to way too much sex at too young of an age these days.
I got kicked out of plenty of basements.
Hey, let's not even, I mean, even TV. Back in the day when we grew up and we were watching Dynasty and all that, it wasn't no sex scenes. When they got to kissing, then it just faded to black. And then the next, you know, 3 months later, she pregnant. So then we had to put it together. Now on regular 6 p.m., I'm trying to watch 911 and they getting busy. I mean, like, it ain't got nothing to do with fires. Like,
legs in the air, the whole nine, yeah.
But that's because you had to watch the soap opera.
But soap operas, even soap operas, it wasn't that. I don't think they got it.
I ain't never seen Eric Kane naked.
Well, you ain't gonna.
Right.
Would you really want to see her naked?
No, God, no.
Thank you.
I'm just saying. So my point is, I think it has gotten worse. And y'all, if y'all pretend like y'all ain't seen that WAP video,
I know everybody done seen it.
if your child is under the age of 13,
I refuse to watch it because I'm a good boy.
You know what?
Lies you tell. What is
lies.
your woke up?
When the lightning hit the laptop, everybody just log off.
Slide to the left.
Just
slide
log
to the
off.
right. I think.
This
Well,
gonna
I
happen.
want to hit Robin's comment. We getting a lot of good comments in the section. So we have too many young ladies that do not have anyone that teaches them that their bodies are temples, and everyone shouldn't have access. Also telling them that they need to move in silence so it doesn't mess up their reputation. Because real talk, once a woman or girl is deemed a hoe or slut, she carries that for her whole life. This is why I said I understand what everybody is coming at Snoop. And I love that he came back and said, you're not going to make me out to be a hater, because I'm not hating against Megan or Cardi. What I'm saying is, if won't nobody else do it, Uncle Snoop is going to tell y'all that what I said on them albums ain't what I'm going to say to you now as an older man that now knows better, because I have a daughter. And that is something precious that you should not tell a man about it until he knows about it. I love that he said that. He didn't tell you not to give it to him. He said it ain't everybody's business what your WAP do. Move in secrecy. And I think what we have done, in my opinion, is in our desire to empower women, we have only given them partial steps to move into that empowerment. Right. And in the meantime, men have not changed. We hear all the time from these two on the screen that they want virgins at 45.
Who? What? Oh, damn lie. Y'all
want virgin like y'all don't listen. We talking about body count.
Have you ever come out our mouths?
What
we said is, don't tell me your body count, because I ain't gonna tell you mine.
We old school. We want a lady in the streets and the freak in the sheets. In other words, it goes back to what Snoop was saying. It's like, they walk around with t-shirts on now. It's out there. And let's look at the domino effect. It's going to plastic surgery. Young women are being taught now that their most valuable asset is between their legs, or their ass or their breasts. That's what seems to be. That's what
that's
seems
not a
to
new
be put out there. It's not new, but it's pushed even harder now because every female rapper now was a stripper. Every female rapper was a stripper now. Like that seemed like your segue into the rap game now. You know, it's through stripping. You know what I'm saying? You got to go from the pole to the microphone.
Could you put Marie Gandy's post?
Wait, that's what I was gonna say. Wait. We have so many comments I want to talk about. So first, I want to hit Marie say we can't have it both ways. Right. The government wanted to censor music and stood on freedom of speech. Now we want entertainers to censor themselves. So she like, what y'all want? Y'all want them to? You want them to censor themselves? You want the government to censor them? You know what? I will say for me, Marie, what I want them to do is, hey, your craft in the booth when you laying down your tracks, do whatever creatively you want to do. Mm-hmm. But there's also a responsibility that comes with it, whether you want it or not. And I feel like Megan has stepped up to it, but Cardi is struggling a little bit with it in terms of you got these girls following you. And I could say this all day long. I want to be my kids' role models, but I cannot change the fact that I'm not their only role model. I'm not the only influence that they listen to. And so I need help in terms of mom saying, hey, you want to be a virgin as long as you is possible. And when I talk to my daughters, I try and keep it real. Yes, I want you to follow the biblical way. I want you to stay a virgin until you get married. But I also know that we in the real world, and I also want to be real. There are emotions tied to sex. There are emotions that I can't even put in words that you are going to feel. Everybody on this podcast can tell you who they lost their virginity to. We are all well over 40, and I can tell you their name. I can remember it.
He can't. His number was on the bathroom wall in high school, so he really don't know.
Who he pointing at me?
Yeah, he
pointing at you. And I just want to say, don't do him like that. His mama on here.
Right.
Mom, he wasn't.
First 48. What's wrong with you?
Wow. I think
go ahead, Tim.
The part of the issue we don't normalize talking about sex. And that's the problem. Like kids are raised to learn about sex on social media and on the internet instead of parents or even a trusted adult having these conversations with them, because right now what we have is girls are being body shamed about their sexuality. And so what I'm saying is that it's okay to talk about sex. Now, what you choose to talk about sex, again, always there's going to be a natural consequence to everything. But to tell a woman not to be expressive about what she wants is wrong. I think that's the piece that bothers me about his statement, is that they chose to, that's who they are. They were strippers, right? So this is what they chose to say about how they enjoy sex. Now, does that go for the next woman over? Maybe, maybe not. But the reality is, you shouldn't, just like we don't stifle the male rappers about talking about sex, we shouldn't stifle female rappers about talking about sex.
Well,
it's about teaching people about the.
Well, no, but you're right. But I think so. When you look at today's society, I think the big problem, and I was reading Nunu's comments about the parents and blaming other people. I think one of the issues now is it's no balance between negative and positive. Everything is sex. Even in our hip hop, we had from Too Short to KRS-One to from Poor Righteous Teachers to Luke. You know, we kind of had, now everything is negative, and it is having an influence. And I know we want to put responsibility on the parents, and it is the parents. But let's be totally honest. All of us has done stuff that our parents told us was wrong, that taught us, and we knew was wrong. And part of our upbringing is everything around us, the neighborhood you in, the music you listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all a part of your upbringing. I know it's real quick to jump on parents, but I know kids who had great parents, and the kid turned out to be a crackhead or locked up.
I was gonna say, standing here as a parent, it is easy to say what a parent should do. But I will tell you that parenting in 2020 is harder than our parents ever had.
Mhm.
Because
Oh
our kids have
God.
advice, they have access to things that we was sneaking and watching porn on VHS tapes. All right. And all
On
my parents
TV.
had to do was listen and walk in and catch me. Now you gotta have tracking devices on your phone. You gotta get
Mhm.
phone checks. Your kids are more technically sound than you. They know how to hide apps. They know how to put apps. And so we can blame the parents all we want to, but I will tell you in 2020, something that is absolutely broke is the community because
Mhm.
we did not raise our children in a vacuum.
Right.
Our kids got beat all the way up and down the block. Now we got parents that say, "Don't touch my child." We got teachers that can't discipline. We have created these silos in which the only thing raising our children that they get 100% access to is Snapchat, which deletes videos in 24 hours. So God knows that
Mhm.
if I'm not on there constantly, I'm not gonna see it. They got social platforms you don't even know about. I just found out about Clubhouse. I said, "What is that?" I can't even keep up.
What is that? Oh,
It,
we're talking about.
It's a new platform.
it's a new platform. And that's what I'm saying. As a parent, we cannot even keep up with our kids. We can't even stalk our kids like our parents did. And like I have to bribe my oldest to tell me what the youngest is doing because I can't keep up on the technology.
Now
So now
your stalker game is
my
on a
soccer
whole
game is
nother level.
tight.
So
But
you
I'm
know how to
telling
stalk.
you,
I'm
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 telling you,
I'm gonna have you watch my daughter for me. Your stalker
I'm
game
telling you,
is
my
on
soccer
point.
game is my. It's not stalking. It is investigative reporting. That's all it
But
is. It's not stalking.
but
But I'm just
isn't it
saying, is
though?
it the parent? We have to own the fact that parents are not the only influence, and I think Lefty
Mhm.
hit on it. Anybody that say it starts with the parents, it's all on the parents. Y'all know that y'all butts did stuff that y'all parents told you not to do. You lied to your parents. You went somewhere that you said you wasn't supposed to be. You did things that they told you specifically not to do. So it's not all parents. Kids are going to be kids.
Kids. Yes.
How many of y'all lit the greasy part after y'all saw School Days?
No.
No,
Never.
no,
That wasn't
no.
influential. That wasn't
Ew.
That
influential.
wasn't
No, that was
sexy at
not
all.
influential. That was not even sexy. That was just weird. And that's when I knew that I didn't like Spike Lee, that he had some
Listen,
That
issues,
was
but that's
strange.
a whole nother
listen.
show. It's a whole nother show.
If they would have put the camera like right up on her face, she had a mouthful of Dax.
Damn. Yeah,
No.
too. But you know, but it is, and it does, and I think we do forget that part, like with our upbringing compared to what's going on now.
Hold on. Tamari, what's Spetrovision? Is that
You
gonna
don't
help
know
me stalk
Spectral
my
Vision
kids?
is?
What?
That's what after on TV. It was on
Hey,
TV and
Spectral
Spectral
Vision
Vision.
is on
remember,
TV. You know, after a
remember,
certain
she from
time,
Gary. She from Gary,
you
y'all.
had
Stop.
you had
Don't
to
clown
purchase
her.
the
You're not gonna
porn.
clown my girl because she from Gary and they didn't have that technology. Stop.
Hey.
Damn.
Y'all gonna stop talking about me for being for Gary. Y'all not gonna talk about me for being for Gary. I'm just saying. Now,
Ah!
So wait, let's try to stay on topic a little bit because we run out of time. So where are for the young ladies, and going back to what Snoop was saying, but where are the Queen Latifahs today? You know what I mean? Where are those to influence young ladies to
where's
that
the
it's
balance?
more than six? It's
Yeah.
you don't have it. Where's the it was a bunch of female rappers. What was the one with used to wear the
Yo, MC Light.
yeah, it was
Light-
a lot of them, man. Yeah. So now, when you do constantly get the WAPs, and then you know how it's the industry is straight copycat now. So we already know what's coming. WAP blew up was a big song. So what's about to be next? And the radios are playing it. Like you said, if radios are flooded with it, TV,
Come on,
reality
now
shows,
the
flooded.
video, like that video is soft porn. There are things in that video that I had to do like this, like I as an adult with
And
children
then,
wasn't
and then,
ready to
and then,
do.
and then every kid can pull
Really?
up. Every kid can pull up at any time. Every kid can pull that up at any time that they want. Compared to we had to wait to 11, 12 o'clock at night, and either watch BET Uncut at 1 in the morning, or you know what I'm saying? Like
or on
it's
TV.
So the influence is very strong. And I get what Snoop's saying. I just wanted him to take some responsibility in this and where this has gone, because it starts somewhere. It all starts somewhere and it grows. So when Snoop talking about we don't love these hoes and ain't no fun, homies can't have none, use part of them roots, homie. Big time.
That's facts, man.
So,
But you got to look at, it's not just in the videos, it's just in the war period. Because I know you guys have seen some of these videos of these teachers, these new age teachers that's up at the chalkboard, writing on the chalkboard, and she got them yams. You know what I'm saying? So how can a little boy sit on in the first row and pay attention?
A little horny little boy.
And his teacher got yams just poking out.
Time out. We're not even finna go down that. It's not our fault that in this day and age teachers are younger.
Everywhere.
The only difference is that teachers are younger. Teachers are younger. Back in the day, everybody that taught us was 60 years old and older. They didn't even get up from their death because on Geritol. Now you got teachers that's like 10 years older than the kids they teach.
It's everywhere. It's
all my teachers look like Miss Doubtfire.
However, so do mine. However, listen, y'all, we got some dope comments I want to touch on. So, Vanessa said, white women get to be hoes and black and brown women don't. I cannot let that. I think that is one of the dopest statements. Like, I do think that inside the double standard of men and women, there is another standard that black women are never allowed to be sexual.
A garden tool is a garden tool. Don't matter if you green, red, yellow, or whatever.
You know what you just said? That teacher at the blackboard got yams. You know why?
I didn't say what color she was.
We know what color she is. Who got yams?
No. Yams come in all shapes, sizes, colors.
No, they got pumpkins. We do sweet potato pie. They do pumpkin pie. They got pumpkins. We got yams.
Pumpkins and we got yams.
Walk downtown Chicago in the springtime and watch you see a variety of yams everywhere.
Those are not yams. Those are panties with pads in them.
Man,
but once again, we've made it the woman's responsibility to have to handle that too. So now they got to make sure the little boys ain't lusting after them. What about the male teachers?
So go back to what Vanessa said. That's a great comment about and I don't think they get to be hoes. I want to correct that. And I had a conversation with a family member that dates outside of the race, and one of the things that me and him discussed was like, I don't think that culture takes sex as serious as we've been taught. For instance, a blowjob is like a kiss on the cheek in some cultures. It's nothing. You know, sex is just like, oh yeah, I just had a random. I think we've been brought up, we've been brought up as old fashioned as it is and biblical or whatever it is, that your body is a temple and sex is you don't do this and what you don't do.
I definitely think black people look at sex totally different.
Yeah.
In a totally different spectrum than white people do. And I think that's a lot of things. I think culturally, marriage. Why is it like literally they get married sooner and faster than we do because marriage is just an acceptable path. Whereas, y'all go down the aisle bucking.
Why it always got to go on? You constantly say it's always a man versus man, and here you go right now, pointing the finger at the man, saying we go down there bucket.
I'm telling you, a hit dog will holler, won't he? I'm just saying.
I'm speaking up for my brother.
Am I lying, lady? Am I lying?
You know what?
You're not lying, though.
Do me a favor. I need you to do me a favor.
That's the comment y'all made about the woman having to change her attire because she got yams at the bulletin boards. Just take it and keep it moving.
I'm just saying, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to reach out to my brother, my smoke fella brother, LaRon Sweet Jones, and get him on the show so he can explain to y'all the movement that he was proud to help found. Black men don't cheat. Carry on.
So let me ask you ladies something. Do you all want to be over sexualized? Do you only want to be looked at as a piece of ass? Do you want to be
I
looked
think
at?
we I think
We've
we're
all been
I'm
there.
already.
asking you, do
It's in
you
our
want to
subconscious
be?
already.
I'm asking you, do you want
No,
to be?
How
not
about
at
this? I
all.
want to be in control of the narrative.
Well,
I
you in
don't
El
want the
Paso, so it
narrative.
might be a yes for
I
you.
How about this? I want to be in control of the narrative. And I think that's
Right.
what's unfair. We're not in control of the
No,
narrative.
right.
So we've been overly sexualized since slavery, right? So, that's that thing there. And then we tried to find our place. What I want to do is be comfortable in my own skin and have my black man say, I got you. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
want. And not judge me. Know that if I blowjob, I'm finna really go there because I already been kicked out of the church. If I give you a blonde blowjob, you don't think about where I picked up the skills at, or why, stay in the moment with me.
Yeah, but you're not now. Now you're trying to
Hey,
dehumanize
we're
this
trying to get
whole
you no
thing.
sexually dating.
No,
Chill.
hold on. Because
Oh,
now you're dehumanizing this whole thing. People are going to view you how they view you. What you control the narrative is how you carry yourself, and that's with your words, with the way you dress, and things like that. So if you
But I
running
can only
around,
control myself. I can only carry myself in a way that you see
mm-hmm.
approved, that you
yeah, but
approve of.
no,
And we've talked about that.
that's your self esteem too. But don't sit around. Don't sit here and come out with your ass cheeks hanging from under your shorts and your breasts hanging out, and then when the dude be like, "Damn, I want to hit," he come at you like that, and you get offended. It don't work like that.
It doesn't, and I guess you actually went on you were hitting a good point, Nicole, about this is what we've created.
Yeah.
It's been with us for generations since probably before slavery, even if you think
Yeah.
about over in Africa. But now, so here's my thing. So I'm gonna put this twist on it. So basically, we've done this all these generations, and now you got somebody like, hey, F it. This what y'all said, y'all who we are. This that I'm going to express myself.
I'm
My
gonna do
my
it.
question is, if if where that whole comment about where do you learn it? How do you learn it? So
No,
unfortunately, like now, here's Cardi B and Meg Stallion giving women, the book. Here you go. This is what this is what you should want, and that's okay. I don't think that. Again, I think it's okay to understand what your sexuality is, how you express it. Now, is everybody gonna go make a rap song about it? Absolutely not. I don't feel like I shouldn't be able to tell my man this is what I want in the bedroom. And that's a whole nother conversation because women have not been trained to speak on that. Some women ain't even there. Some women will actually be in orgasmless relationships because no one's ever taught them that it's okay to speak up on what you want.
Read Chasing Wood's conversation about the art of faking orgasms. Women, black women especially,
Boom.
have learned how to fake orgasms because we have been taught we don't even know how to love our body enough to find
Correct.
what sexually pleases us. We have been sexually repressed for so long. And even to what Snoop said, going back to where we started, this is a jewel. You should be secretive. You should be this. And everybody tells us how to keep it under wraps. Nobody told us
How to-
anything about sex. And what they did tell you was, I remember what I was told was kissing boys is how you get pregnant.
Yep.
damn.
The first time I kissed a boy, I thought I was pregnant. When I tell you I probably had a panic attack for like 2 weeks thinking I was pregnant, I hadn't even had a period yet. And
Yeah,
I
because
thought
they tried to
I was
scare us out of sex, though.
Absolutely.
They put fear in. That's how that control. Let's take that all the way back to slavery. You control by fear, and putting the fear that sex is this horrible thing. We were told as boys. I know Ben remember you told you was gonna catch all type of diseases and all type of, I mean, my parents didn't go as far as the kissing thing and get pregnant, but I can see a parent telling their daughter that, to scare the hell out of them.
It's a girl thing.
And
Yeah.
I also think Marie hits it on the head. We have been smacked on our hands for being sexually expressive. You've been put in the corner if you are that type of woman. And so, do I like the fact that Cardi B and Megan are
So
changing the
can I ask you a
narrative?
question?
I do, but there is responsibility
Can I ask you
behind
a
that.
question?
Yes.
What is sexual expression?
the ability to be able to say what it is that you want. So when I speak of
Doesn't
sexual,
matter how
Say that to your man, not publicly.
it doesn't matter
but
how you say it, how you go about it, because how you say it and how you go about it is how you're going to be looked at.
it's true. That is very true. The challenge that we have here and about what this topic is represented is that no one has taught women or these girls where is it okay to express it. So guess what? If they don't know how to express it, guess how they're gonna do it? Through song, through raps. This is how they express themselves.
Through
So the thing,
clothes, through right.
right. And again, the song is made on the backdrop of there's some hoes in this house. So come on, y'all. And that's from Chicago. So but again, it's how do we get to a point where, and I honestly believe that this is a male issue. Y'all men are feeling uncomfortable about these women speaking on what they want. That's what the issue is. Because, well, not you two, but I think that that's what it is by large. Because guess what? If women start truly speaking about what they want in the bedroom, a lot of men gonna be real upset because they can't
But
perform.
let's even call Mr. Smokefella out on what he just said. So I'm only allowed to be expressive about my sexual needs when I'm in a relationship because that's not
I didn't say that.
the parameters.
I just said how you say it, how you say it. That's all I said. I didn't
But
say
what I'm
in a
saying,
relationship or nothing. It's on how you come off and how you present yourself when you're speaking about sexuality. If you sitting there talking about sexuality and you got both of your tatas hanging out and your yams with a thong on, now people gonna look at you differently versus you having a little cleavage and you just confident in yourself. They look at you totally different.
Let me shift it a little bit, right? So when men are single, it's okay for them to have sexual discussions. Is it okay for a woman? So we've talked about this on the show. Is it okay for a woman who is not in a committed relationship to say, I want somebody to just
blow my back out? Yeah, okay.
Blow my back out.
What?
I want somebody to blow my back out.
But it still goes back to it's how you do it. You're not gonna post that on your social media page. I need my back blown out. Like, yeah, you ain't gonna post that. That's the right. and so that's what we talk about.
Facebook friends,
so
that mine have.
Well, no, but some people do it. But I know how they are viewed too, and maybe they don't care. That's on them. But it goes back to there's a fine line between, you can cross over and thinking, oh, I'm just being openly and being expressive, and I should have the right to do so. You have the right to do so. But what comes behind that is totally different. How many men have you met have crossed the line between confident and just straight arrogant?
So here's my thing. So
that's a very thin line.
Just because somebody says something doesn't mean they're actually doing it. Just like a whole bunch of men to tell you they done ran train on women, done all sorts of things sexually, and have never done any of it. So why can't a woman say the same thing? You don't know if she did it or not.
Okay, so Camo, is it expressing yourself or is it just attention grabbing?
It's for me, expression.
I'm just saying. There's a fine line between men and women and them expressing themselves versus being attention whores. It's a very fine line between that.
Vanessa said who gets to decide someone else's fine line.
Correct. And
society decides. Society decides.
But I'm speaking for me. This is me. I'm comfortable having conversations about sex. I'm comfortable about saying what works for me in the bedroom. I'm comfortable in that. But
see, you look very sincere. You look very sincere in how you talking versus somebody saying, "Girl, I just want my back blown out."
But what I'm saying is that
sincerity.
It took me to get to that point. And what I'm saying is that we don't train any of our youth, male and female, to have those conversations. We don't train people to be comfortable in the fact that sex should be enjoyable. We don't train our girls how this should feel. Like a girl should not walk away from sex feeling like it's dirty. And a lot of girls do. And I will say a lot of grown-ass women do too, because they haven't learned the art of what sex feels like, or what they should experience, how they should have an orgasm, how they should be stimulated.
See Tandy comment?
What you say?
But Tandy is making a point. Tandy is saying, no, you automatically put a woman who says, Miss Blow My Back Out, she is automatically a whore. We have to filter and present our sexual needs in a certain way for them to be accepted.
It's
And
not
that's not the case.
necessarily. Not
Hold on.
necessarily.
And
Not
that's not the case
necessarily.
for men. Men can talk, men can say their sexual needs any kind of which way they want to. And it is just you being a man. It is not. At what point do we call you hoes? When we mad at you because you done cheated on us and our feelings are hurt.
Every day,
But it's
all day.
never.
Well, the effect, well, then there it
Every
is.
day, all day.
There it is. The backlash and the effect is worse on women than it is on men.
Absolutely. And that's
Than
all
it
we
is.
want men to admit
I
is
mean,
that
it's worse.
Oh, no. Never are we gonna deny that.
Right.
That's true.
It's the backlash. A man can sleep with 100 chicks and he the man. A woman sleep with 25 dudes and she a hoe. I mean, it ain't right. It ain't right, but it is what it is. I mean, it's what's been put out there. It's what society has put out there. It's what's been our grandmamas were talking about it. Like I mean, it's some things we can't control. But there's something we can't control, but it's how you, and I think that's very important for women to there is still a fine line. I don't care who, what, where, when, or why. There's a very thin line between carrying yourself like a lady and being openly just sexual. Like it is. It just is.
But that's your
even that
thin line,
comment,
though.
but even that comment, so wait, let me just go back. Women must carry themselves like a lady. But men are not required to carry themselves as men.
We just admitted it's a double standard. We just said it wasn't right.
But here's my thing. And I think even to what Nunu was saying, it's not so much that we want people to talk to us any kind of way. What I think is important to address in this is to get beyond the surface level of this. So in reality, Chase and Wood on our blog wrote an article about the art of faking an orgasm. And that if you did a poll, if we do a poll, ladies, I need y'all to support me on this. Women, if you have ever faked an orgasm, I need you to log in and say and tell the men. We fake a lot of orgasms, so much so that Megan, one of her most famous lines is, "I'm not finna lie on my nut to make no man feel good." Okay? But we've been taught that because we almost feel like an orgasm is not a necessary part of sex for us. It's not necessary. And so what I want to do is for us, at some point, we can't reteach the youth their jewel, their power, or anything about their sexuality in a healthy way until we as adults acknowledge and deal with sex in a healthy way. We've got religious stuff that we wrapped up in where we feel like we can't have sex. We got people who are married that question whether they can have certain positions. We got so many cultural hangups about sex as Black people that we need to undo. And WAP is just a outward example of the fact that you got it from multiple perspectives. You got some people that's like Megan and Cardi. I own my sexuality. I'm gonna do what I want to do. You're not gonna put me in no category. You want to call me a hoe? I'm make money at it. You got other women who are so afraid of not being a good girl because good girls are. Damani, one of the deepest things you said on this show is so many of us are stuck in the Santa Claus thing. That if I'm a good girl and I stay on the nice list, then guess what I get? I get a husband and the kids and the dog and all of that. And that's bull too. And I think we need to have a conversation about the fact sex should be enjoyable for both people. It is not about you giving in to another person. It's not about you laying there like Miss Seeley and letting Mr. just
do his business.
But I think it feel like we kind of jumping all over, like not feeling comfortable enough to talk to your mate about, or whoever you having sex with. Ain't got to be no boyfriend, whoever you dealing with, and not being comfortable enough to express that you aren't being pleased or that you want to be satisfied and orgasms too. But then this started not just, you started from the perspective of how you carry yourself. And I don't know if Ben agreed. I'm talking publicly.
Mhm.
Like what me and my lady talk about behind closed doors or whatever, but I don't expect me and my lady to be in a cigar shop and she's sitting up there talking about she got that wet. No, I don't roll like that. Now we get home, she can say, "Come get this wet all day," but she ain't finna sit up in front of everybody having no type of conversation. Come on now. And I was trying to be PG with the wet, but I'm just saying.
Right here,
Thank
bro.
you for letting us know what your conversations are
I'm
at
just,
home.
I'm saying
Hey, bro.
that's cool
What
at
a
home,
flag, what a flag, what a flag.
but you're not gonna want her to do that in a house full of people. You want her doing that house full of folks? Come on, man.
Oh my
Miriam for the
God.
win.
Oh my God.
Splash.
Listen, hold on. We got a
Splash.
box. I got a big box to
Yeah.
put this one in.
Woo,
It's
that was
going to
wait,
Lake
wait,
Michigan. It's going to Lake Michigan, bro.
Oh God, put up Lyons comment. Lisa Lyons said, now hoes are winning. They married, so-called good girls are still single. And so that's the myth that Nicole was talking about. Like they tell us, keep your legs closed, don't give it up. You still have your 3 meats and 2 sides, dress like you holy. Don't show too much cleavage, don't wear your stuff too short, and that you'll get the man. And that's
And
not
that ain't the ones y'all choosing, right?
y'all don't want sweet poly peel bread.
Hoes ain't winning like y'all think.
You
They
ain't never
ain't winning like y'all think. Trust.
That's not what the WAP song said. She said, "Let me tell you how I
Trust.
got this ring."
Yeah,
let
trust.
me explain to you. The WAP song has become a generational comedy right now. Because if you look at TikTok, every old housewife is trying to do the WAP dance, looking a fool. It's just become generational comedy right now.
Well, first of all, everybody ain't got the WAP they think. So some people need to sit the hell down. So anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother.
I stay winning.
So I want to circle back because I'm gonna allow the men to have their men cave. So I am gonna circle back and just say, I think for WAP, I think one of the things I agree with Nunu that we as parents, we as women, we as aunties and sisters and cousins need to pull our girls together and let them know that yes, baby, Cardi call it a WAP. Back then, we had the cleanup woman. Whatever you want to talk about, it has power. It has power and it has always had power. But you have got to be ready for what comes with it. And you can't just jump on a WAP and think that because that's going to make a boy fall in love with you, that is going to make him marry you, that is going to make him treat you right. Because, baby, the one thing that I heard my male best friend say to me is at the end of the day, a nut is a nut for a man. Some are great nuts, some are not great nuts. But it's not the nut that is ever going to make him fall in love with you.
Facts.
And we not having them conversation with our
Can you
girls.
use splash instead of nut? Because I'm feeling
You
uncomfortable.
felt that in the box. That had to
Yeah,
go in the box.
I'm just going in the box too.
You done got sensitive in your old age, brother.
It's just coming out of her mouth, and she said with clarity, "Nut." I mean, come on, stop.
Anyway, but it's a true
what?
statement, and we got to tell our girls that you can spin around on the ceiling fan, and you could be the best thing that he ever had. Men do not marry the women that they had great sexual experiences with.
Correct.
They will continue to have great sexual experiences with you, but that's not who they marry. And so we just need to have those honest conversations. And I need y'all, even Uncle Snoop Dogg, to keep having these honest conversations as well, both with our men and with our girls, about keeping it real, keeping it 100. So that's all I'm going to say. And now I'm going to turn it over to the men who want to go ahead and have a man cave.
Hoes are always going to stay down in the valley with Uncle Clifford.
Oh, Lord. Lord.
What up, my brother?
What's going on, my brother? My brother. Welcome all our viewers to the
Always nice to be in
man
the man
cave.
cave.
To the man cave. We got the pit bull by the door so the ladies can't get in. If not, he gonna put something on. If they try to get up in here, this is the man cave. Now this week, I want to talk about something interesting, man, because over the last week or so, it's been some father-son interactions, and one of the topics I want to talk about. I want to start off with that one. Is not being is fathers. This one kind of goes with fathers not being in their kids' lives, or where's the protection? So we both have sons. We both have sons who play sports. You know, as fathers, we watched the football coach, was in Georgia, whatever, slapped a little 9-year-old boy. You know, two times slapping on those kids like that. And one of the things that I want to point out is look at the way that kid jumped up. Like that wasn't the first time this coach has done that. As so, where my question being is, where's the fathers? Where's the uncle? Where's the cousin? Where's another father that was in the stands? That's your son's friend. What would you have done? Talk to me.
Listen, hold on. Not only the fathers that was in the stand, the other males that his assistant coach and all of them that was on the sideline with him, nobody checked this dude. I'm sorry. Me being a father, if I was in the crowd, that didn't have to be my kid.
Yep.
Because guess what? If my kid was on that field and you slapped this little boy off his feet twice, that means you would do that to my son. So now I need to go out there and be like, what the is going on? And I'm going to choke you up right in front of every parent. Like, what are you doing? Because, man, when I watched the video, it seemed like somebody in the crowd said something to him after the first time, because it looked like he went to the crowd and was like, what? I'll do it again. And then that's when he went over there and put hands on the little boy again.
Man,
once he did that, man, that game was supposed to be canceled. It was supposed to be a melee. He was supposed to be running to his car trying to get away.
And man, I wanted to jump through my laptop screen when I first saw it. I was so pissed off. I don't know them little kids from a hole in the wall, but the protection that we always talk about, protecting our women, and that we should do, but who's protecting our children? And boys, you know, we kind of, this show, we kind of focus on things women go through, but look at this situation, to where a coach is putting his hand, another grown man is able to put his hands on a child, and no consequences except he can't coach football anymore. Come on,
he banned
man.
from the league.
Come on, man.
As we talked on our podcast, shameless plug, Humidor Shop Sports Podcast, when we talked about the high school lineman that knocked over the ref.
Mm-hmm.
They pressing charges on that young boy.
Right.
But you're not pressing charges on this coach for a grown man laying hands on a 9-year-old boy.
Right.
Yes, he had a helmet on, but you knocked this kid off his feet twice.
And Nate makes a great point. The refs just stood there. The men that were there stood there and watched this. Are you kidding me, man? As a black man, as a black father, it just hurt my heart, man. I can't fathom watching a grown man do that to a child in no way, shape, or form.
And I mean, I've coached little kids all the way up to the high school level, man. And never, not once have I even thought about in my mind to put my hands on a kid like that, man. I mean, oh my God, I was so upset by this.
Yeah. Now, would it have been different if some type of male figure, not necessarily the father, a stepfather, whoever, were around, though, so this coach knows. The first day my son played football, I was there at practice. You're gonna see me, fam. This is so you cross the line with this one, and you know what's coming. I ain't have to threaten them, but just my presence being there, they knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, this little boy here. Now, you know, and I even peeped how some of the coaches talk to kids who knew that there was no male figure around. They mouth was a little more flip with those kids. So I want you to touch on that a little more, Ben.
Listen, I was coaching 5th and 6th graders, and I'm coaching in the game. And one of the coach that I was coaching against, I mean, his mouth was reckless, and I mean, he was cussing the kids like they was 35 years old. In the first break in the action, I went over to him and I said, "Man, you're gonna have to stop. It is no way that you should be talking to them like that, man. All these parents get to see you, man. This is a bad look for you, and I'm embarrassed for you. Right. So get yourself together, man. Or guess what? My team, we're gone, and we can end this game right now."
That's what's up. That's
man. I was just like, dude, you too reckless.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where you snatching the kid's confidence, where you're making them feel is making them insecure or whatever. And we played sports coming up. We had some rough coaches. We had coaches who mouth. Actually, if a coach says shit, we'd be like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? And even playing football, man, we had coaches that grabbed your face mask to kind of get your attention and pull you. But it wasn't a malicious, like, take you and throw you down by the helmet type thing. Right. It was a certain line on cross, but I really wanted to touch on the fact that there is a big difference, man. Even if you're not the custodial parent, if whatever your child's involved in, make your presence known. Let them know it's a man around. It's a man around, fam. You cross the line, it's gonna be something totally different.
Right, because see, what it is, a lot of these individuals that get into coaching didn't go to school for this. They doing it. Some of them do it for the love of the game. Some of them might have their own child on, so now they're coaching their child. But then you got some people that just out here, thinking that they Bobby Knight, and this is what they grew up in, and they had a coach in their face, and that's how they think that they supposed to coach. Man, the time of trying to terrorize kids and all that stuff, guess what? That passed 20 years ago.
Oh yeah. These kids couldn't handle some of the things man used to say to us in practice.
No, that passed 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You can't treat kids like that these days because, one, you got a lot of emotional kids out here. And you being high-strung, aggressive, whatever, only pushes them further into a shell or into the corner.
Right.
You have to use different ways as a leader to motivate kids now, because you can't. That fear factor, that was back in the 80s and maybe I'll say the early 90s. After that, man, that ship has passed.
We are not raising our kids off fear. That ship is definitely sailed. So we got some comments. Sweets chimed in. What up, Sweets? I would have tore his ass up if I was there. And I think most of the guys agree. Nate chimed in. The mom did not want to press charges. I was shocked. I kept saying, where's this kid's dad, granddad, uncle, somebody? And exactly the point we've been making here in the man cave. And I don't get why the mom didn't want to press charges. Maybe her and the coach got something going on. Maybe that's something a little deeper that maybe it'll come out later. But I can't see my mom, your mom, and most of our people's mom being cool with anybody putting their hands on us, like that. I can't see it.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man, and this is truth. This is facts. I lived it. I seen it. Like I said, I've been coaching from, the biddy all the way up to high school and college. I've coached in all of those sections. And when I say over all these years, the most active parent is a single mom where the dad is not around. And you out of a team of 10 to 12 kids, you're going to see maybe 3 fathers. Yeah. And that's a shame.
It was like that. It was like that in my son's football games, especially when it was like maybe 25% men out there. Like you said, don't have to be a dad, an uncle, big brother, somebody, but it was so many women out there. It almost could have been a pickup joint. Like it was, It was all women out there, no men. And your kid playing probably the most physical sport that there is. You know what I'm saying? And no man is there. So real quick, before we run out of time, I'm gonna let the ladies jump in on this. I'm gonna let Nick and Tiff come in and give us about 5 minutes first before y'all
We
just
gotta
run
put
up
the
in
dog.
it.
You gotta put the dog away. Why don't you get bit?
I'll put the dog up in 5 minutes. Wiz Khalifa. The picture on the internet, video of him kissing his 7-year-old son in the mouth. So I need a lot of my fellas to chime in on this, especially, even if you don't have a son. How did that make you feel, Ben?
Oh man, I can see it on both sides, man. It's the love and admiration that a father has built this bond with his kid. But it comes to a certain point where he's starting to grow up and be a preteen, then a teenager and all of that. And you have to let some of those things go. However, I do see that it's genuine love for his child, and that's what I'm, because it's a lot of men that do not show love to their child, and it can affect them on the back end. You know what I'm saying? They show love in different ways.
Right, exactly. And that's what we've been talking about all night. What is that boundary, that little cross of the line? Because I never doubted that my father loved me, but that was like mom's role to be the emotional kissy. Right. Dad didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Pops didn't kiss all on you, everything. And I'm with Nate. Nate said I had 2 sons, and I've never kissed either one of them in the mouth. On the forehead, yes, maybe on the cheek, but the lips, no, sir. I've never kissed my son in the mouth.
And I have to agree with you guys.
Ever.
Forehead, cheek, especially when they were younger, you know what I'm saying? But no.
Now, and now we spoke earlier about cultural differences. In some cultures, that's cool, where fathers kiss their sons in the mouth, like all the way up to damn near teenagers. It's just, and I think we would raise more like there's, affection can be shown. You don't want to cross the line to getting weird and sexual. Like parent love and the love you have with a mate is totally different. So I want the ladies to chime in. Y'all get a chance. Y'all jump back in.
First of all, growing up, man, once my kid got to where we had our own little handshake, that's what it was from. Yeah. From that point on, we had this cool little handshake that me and them we shared.
Oh, y'all know I've been back there shaking on this one.
You been back there whopping?
Now, first up, I do right. No, I'm not whopping, but I do want to before I give my opinion on Wiz Khalifa, I do want to state that, like, for my daughter, I was a cheerleading coach for Pop Warner, and I agree. As a parent, all those kids are mine. All of them are mine. And I just don't think you can just sit and watch that and not hold him accountable. And just tell him, you put hands on him. I don't care who his mama or daddy is. Do it again, and I'm gonna put hands on you. And if I can't put hands on you, somebody in this, I got somebody here that'll come out the stands for me. And you don't want that smoke. So I'm gonna just say that. So now the kiss on the cheek. So let me just say, I had to go research this because I hadn't seen it. I saw the still. The still looked horrible. The picture looked like he was tongue kissing the baby. But the video was like a quick. And I don't know. I feel that this is an issue with Black men. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put a different spin on it. That we have taught our men how to not show affection.
That's what I said. It was genuine love for his kid.
Yeah, it's just he like good morning, and it's like it's genuine affection, and we blow it up. And I think there are so many young boys who have absolutely no idea how to deal with emotions, because as you said, Lefty, that was a mom thing, and so that was thought to be soft, and that was thought to be feminine. And so when y'all feel a certain way, you have no idea how to deal with that, because you had no male model that did that. My dad was not an affectionate person. My mom was, and my dad wasn't. And I remember the first time my dad kissed me, and it mattered to me. And it wasn't sexual, but it mattered because it was an expression of love. And my love language is physical touch. So I think as a Black man, there is nothing better than when you can let go of all of the other mess and just.
Here we go with the
We
male
got,
bat. T Rich.
we got some arguing going on up in here. I love it. I love it. So Nunu commented, Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, I'll bring it up. Can you bring it up? Puerto Ricans and Mexicans do it all the time, along with Italians. T Rich chimed in and said, yes, you are correct. And I saw it and didn't think anything of it. But then her other comment says, Black men have a damn problem with everything. Get over yourselves. Ain't that some stuff? I don't know. It's just, I guess
what
our
you
family
haven't seen.
So
what you haven't seen and tell me what the issue is.
So I think we were, and most of the people in our age group, especially boys, and if you had your father around a male figure, you know, it was that defined roles thing. It was just that defined roles, and most of our dads and grandfathers and uncles. My grandfather hugged you all day. Like, he was the nicest dude in the world. He'd hug you all day, but he wasn't kissing on us. He just wasn't kissing on us. It just, I don't know where it started or where it goes, but I don't know. It's gonna be weird, especially in our culture. I'm sorry.
And for me, like I say, I just thought it was just genuine love for his kid. And I mean, in this day and age, our Black boys need a lot of love. And if that's the way he was gonna show his love, then so it be it. But
I think Black men struggle with that. I think y'all struggle with that, and I think that's what y'all need to talk to in the man cave, because I have seen a lot of Black fathers who, instead of hugging their son, it's a punch in the shoulder or it's a punch in the chest, and it's not hurtful, but it's like a lighthearted, playful thing. Again, I think there is a struggle for you guys to show love in any way that's not macho.
I'll hug my boys.
Yeah, hug.
They grown ass men. I am definitely not kissing they hairy asses. I'm not.
Grandkids, grandsons. No, it just, and you know, it is tough. And Gandhi got a great comment. That's another double standard, and that's true, because we are taught that being a Black man, how tough it is. And you know, hey, we all know when you get a certain age, ain't nobody running up and kissing your boo boo. You know, you got cats on the job that, you know, get talked down to and don't know how to stand up for themselves, because they living with the Santa Claus theory that being nice is gonna get you everything you want, including respect. And we all know that's not it. But now we're on the other side of this. We also complain now about how feminine boys are. Isn't that our complaint now? About how feminine our young Black men are. So this the where we're teetering at.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we're teetering at.
What I think some of that reason is because they felt more comfortable with female role models and being able to relate to female emotions, because there is no male role model for what to do with your emotions, and anger and screaming and all of that. Like, I think, again, it goes back to our conversation with as Mrs. Smokefell always says, communication. Right? It's communication and being able to just simply say. I think what you're saying about more feminine boys is because you have more women that are raising men without men in the picture. And so they're getting in touch with their feminine side without that balance. And I think we got to do better as men.
Well, let me give you a little advice.
Hold on, being real quick, disclaimer: we're not talking about sexuality. We're not talking about homosexual. We're talking about feminine acting young men. So go ahead, man. I just want to put that disclaimer out there before we get destroyed by some damn committee or stuff.
I'm gonna give every single lady that's raising a boy a little tidbit right now. I don't care what you got going on in your life as a single mom, and you want that male role model in there. Put your little boy in some type of sports.
Agreed.
to allow him to commune with other little boys. And yes, he learns when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive. He learns how to be competitive. He learns some structure,
But you need to be there, because if the coach loses man and hit your son like that
those
coach
facts.
did, then you need to wow
Those
out as a single mother and knock him out.
But that
Sorry.
is that's a rare incident. I think that's not a common incident
Not
with
at all.
coaches and stuff, because when I started coaching, I didn't have a kid on the team. I coached because of the love for the game. And that's what it was about, and helping other boys appreciate that love that I had for basketball. So that's what it was all about. So I took a kid, and I mean, the kids that I started with on the biddy level in preschool, they followed me for like 7 or 8 years, and their moms made sure that they were on my team. So they got that structure. They learn how to appreciate the game. I'll give you an example. When I started with the biddy, they wanted the kids to wear these colored wristbands, and they put colored little spots, and that's what they were supposed to run to on offense or defense. Not my kids. We will not do that. You are going to learn the game of basketball at this young age, and they calling plays, and they got their hands on the floor playing defense. And these parents was like, oh my God, I want my kid on your team. He has to be on your team. And it was like that for 8 years that I did it.
Yeah. And I think playing sports also teaches you how to direct your aggression, when to turn it on and off. And that's what having especially a good coach can teach you. We'll go out there and try to knock each other heads off in a football game, even in basketball where it get rough. But after that game, you have to shake hands. You know what I mean? You have to show sportsmanship. Mm-hmm. So that it's those things that kind of, time and place, how to direct your aggression, how to be, not cross that line of being aggressive and dirty. Like all those things are taught. But I know Tiffany had a chance to chime in. She just jumped back on.
I just want to point out, I think Smokefella sent out like that special team to keep me from coming back in, but that's okay. I'm here now.
The dog was there, and I didn't want you to get your ankle bit, so he was there.
Oh, that's what happened. That's your story. You sticking to it. Yeah. What am I answering about? The coach and the SmackDown. I told y'all it would have been some slow singing and flower bringing.
She put out a Biggie quote.
Went straight Biggie.
I just, you know what, and I'm a sports official. I know y'all like she do too many things, but I'm also actually a sports official. I'm a track official, and that's one of the problems I actually have with aggressive coaches, because I do see a lot of aggressive coaches to the point that I actually kick them off the track. Like, you cannot come down on the track, let these kids run, because I think it's, for me, I'm always concerned about the kids' self-esteem and what happens after something outlandish like that happens. And then also for the other kids around them, like how degrading is that? Not only did your coach just snap off on you, but he did it in front of everybody else. So now the kid is either going to be in fight or flight syndrome, and they're going to either retaliate against the coach, which we don't want to have happen, or they're going to be fearful to even speak up and speak out. So yeah, I was looking at some of the comments, like like the mother, I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, oh, we would have charged him at that moment. But what bothered me was the community around that. Like, nobody jumped up, defended the kid, stepped in, hold up, homie, player, step back. Like it, and I always say this, and I don't even have children, but I treat everybody as if they're my kids. Like, when I'm out there on the field with these kids, they are my children. And I treat them as such, meaning I'm not going to let nobody disrespect you. If a coach is acting a fool, you got to go. Again, if the kid is acting a fool, you got to go. But I think it's about how we build that community, and we just don't have that anymore. So, yeah, I agree with everything you all said about, making sure that kids are learning how to participate in sports and that sportsmanship, and when to be aggressive and when not. And unfortunately, that coach, and I hope that, it doesn't sound like it was an isolated incident for him, but I hope that from that, at least that mother learns, like, you need to teach your son to speak up to somebody.
And another part of it that we haven't really touched on is, and that is some of the problem. These coaches, some people you just sign up to be a coach and you're a coach. Yep. But there is a psychological part to this. To every kid doesn't respond to everything like the same way. Like you, one coach yelling at you can make you tough, but like you said, to another coach yelling at a different kid, the same coach yelling at a different kid in the same way can make him insecure and grow up, as we say, soft but fearful and kind of just got that real timid. You know what I'm saying? Like real timid. Yeah.
Right. You say boo, and that kid is going into a shell. And I don't know if Lefty, you watched his recorded apology.
Yeah,
oh my God, that was horrible.
Yeah,
that was horrible. Right there, I wanted to go to the screen and come across the table and choke his ass up.
Yeah, somebody should have been waiting in the back to lay hands on him, even after the weak apology. And like I said, that's just watching that kid's reaction, how he just jumped up. That coach do that. Yeah, that ain't the first time. That ain't no isolated incident. That's how he coaches his kids. And that furthermore tells me that there aren't hardly any fathers in those kids' lives.
Correct.
Because my son wouldn't be playing on his team after they take this size 12 up out his, as TB say, his funky ass.
Well, he'd have been missing for a while.
Facts.
Well, I will definitely say this. I think we started touching on something that we definitely need to get into, which is mommy issues and daddy issues, and how that plays out in us as adults. Because I definitely think the lack of affection that comes from growing up, even if you had your father in your house, as we all said, affection was not his thing. That was mom's thing. And talking about that, does that translate into relationships? Do you only initiate affection when it's time to get sexual? Because that's when it's acceptable. And you do that little fake kiss every morning on the way out the door. And other than that, that's the only time we kiss. Like that's that's something we need to talk about men being comfortable in their skin when it comes to affection.
Look like we got our topic for next week.
I sound like we got our topic for next week, which is good because y'all don't read notes. So I'm just saying.
Just in time for Christmas.
Show some mistletoe. Let's show y'all what to do with the mistletoe. The mistletoe.
There you go.
Anyway, next week I will tell you. Stay tuned.
Mistletoe or camel toe? I didn't hear that.
Oh Jesus!
Wait, what?
Don't play into that tomfoolery.
Just went left.
So right, Joey said good topic. So next week we will be having a special We Go Together holiday segment where we will be talking about gifts and how we go together for the holiday. Nate, I just want to let you know you don't have to figure it out. We technically go together right now. That's going to last until December. You've been my boo all day. I don't even know if Nate's still on here, but Nate, you still my boo.
T. Rich said camel toe and tea bags. Come on, man.
Oh, man.
Come on, man. Camel. There it is.
And Tia is continuing to add to our topics for next week. She wants to know if any of us have mistletoe hot seat stories. I do not, but we will see if any of the other hosts have any mistletoe hot seat stories. But we will be bringing you holiday hot seat, holiday We Go Together, and a gift guide straight from the Relationship Misfits on what to get your significant other for the holidays so that you stay out of trouble. Or you can use it to get into trouble so that you can get out your relationship. Whatever it is that, the quarantine and the pandemic has forced you into is what it is. So
an Applebee's gift card will get me dumped.
That would definitely get me
dumped.
That would definitely. In fact,
don't do it.
I feel the segment coming. There's going to be a We Go Together.
Just a preview.
We don't go together. We don't go together. You buy me
I got a whole bunch of those.
You buy me an Applebee's gift card for Christmas. We don't go together.
Hey, Lefty, you want to get out? Give her a workout gift.
Or some damn appliances.
No
vacuum, no blender, no Ninja. Anyway.
Or a gift set from Walgreens.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
All right.
Now,
A
if you
Javon miss.
give somebody a crock pot, that means them 3 meats and 2 sides.
Nah, dog, don't do it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one next week.
So listen, y'all gotta chime in for the giggles because we bringing y'all the holiday edition. I do want to shout out to Joey, sis. Happy belated birthday. I know
Happy
you are one of our
birthday.
December babies, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my boo thing, Nate. Happy belated birthday to you as well. You one of our December babies.
Nate,
And
she
so,
called you boo thing. Y'all go together.
Oh, you
oh,
missed it. You
oh,
missed
you
it.
missed
All right,
it.
just
That's
look
what happened
up.
when you come in late. I done threw like I was at a Prince concert. Nate done had so many good comments that tailored to the women. Like we go together now.
I
What?
think 2021 we should have a speed dating episode.
Well,
I'm
she remember
game.
she has the challenge.
Well, right, remember.
All the single people jump on and we let them come in one by one on some speed rounds. I think that'll be cool to watch.
Oh,
All right,
we-
can we get some single people to sign up for some HSSS speed dating? I am so for it.
that
Oh
would
my
be
God.
hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Sensitive, don't get on here because I got to
Protect yourself at all times. Hey, Nate called me his boo thing. Hey, I'm in there. Anyway.
And gotten a whole relationship on the internet.
Hey, people do it all the time.
Facts.
Just people do it all the time. Anyway, Camel Chick, take us out of here.
I have had a fabulous time tonight. Oh my goodness, this was great conversation as always. I love hanging with y'all. Audience, y'all did y'all damn thing tonight on these comments.
Yes.
Man, oh my goodness, that was exciting. But shout out to all the December birthdays. Definitely Nate, my Dolphin buddy, my Dolphin alum, as well as special shout out to all my soars, all the D9, of course, and everybody that has chimed in. Thank you all for supporting. This has been a great run thus far. I always say this, we are in the holiday season. Please make sure that you check in on your strong friends and even your not so strong friends. The holidays are hard for all. If you can, bring some joy and a smile to somebody's face this season. There are lots of giveaways. There are a lot of opportunities to serve. Do that. And I will see you all next week.
All right, Mr. Smokefella, take us out.
Well, hey, like Camo said, man, this audience that we have, y'all are nuts, bananas, and any other word that goes with those. Okay, we enjoy the comments that you make. Like I said, we get it on here and we try to give you real talk and real situations about things that's going on, man. And we just keeping it real 24/7, 365. So on that note, 3 and 2.
I hate Lefty.
Well, I'm surprised you ain't 500 pounds. You know,
I don't know how you come behind the 3 meats and 2 sides, but go ahead. There you go.
Man, all I can say is, I can repeat what Tiffany being said. Great audience, man. You guys are great. We try to keep it fun, but at the same time, we do, we try to touch on some topics, man, and try to open some eyes to some things. That whole thing with the coach and even with the Wiz Khalifa thing, it was just sitting on me. As soon as I saw it, I said, we got to talk about in the man cave. These are things that me and our, get a little, we get a little shy talking about, but we got a platform where we can open it up. Hopefully, man, our goal is to get us to understand each other just a little bit better. And happy holidays, everybody. And if you wake up playing What Do the Lonely Do for Christmas next week, definitely reach out to somebody because that song will have you finna jump off the roof. So good night to all.
Let me just say,
most depressing Christmas song ever.
Do not listen to that Christmas song. Like, just don't.
We should also do a playlist too of what not to play.
Please don't play that song.
Bam! Relationship misfit Christmas list. What not to play if you single. That is the number one. What do the lonely do at Christmas? Yeah, and yeah, that's definitely one of them that will have you crying on the way home from the smoke shop. Oh, I had a moment.
The flashback.
leaving the smoke shop on Christmas Eve and get in the car and they playing that song. I was like, y'all trying to make me run off the road. What are y'all
Man.
doing? Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. I am Love Bug. I love all things of love, and I love y'all. I love this audience. I love your participation. I gotta just, say the same thing that our other host said. But make sure that you follow us so that you don't miss us. Make sure you go ahead, hit subscribe, follow whatever platform we on. All things social media that folks over 40 know about: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Everything else, you're not gonna find us on there because we don't know nothing about that. At the HSSS podcast, standing for He Said, She Said podcast. We also have the blog. Make sure you go check out the blog because Chase, Wood, Sean, and Tori Chanel are crazy as we are. So make sure you check out the blog. Y'all, we just thank y'all. We thank you for your support, and we look forward to seeing y'all next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Same bat station, same bat channel. See y'all
What do
next
they
week.
do? What do they do for Christmas? Whoa! What
Yo,
do they do?
we
What
got a
do
box.
they do
We got a box.
at
We, we,
Christmas
we gonna take
time?
your